In the last 10 years, I've made thousands of cold calls, sent thousands of emails as a salesperson, VP, and now as a CEO who's still on the front lines. But here's a dirty secret. My messaging used to suck. I used to give long-winded pitches on calls, and I'd be speaking 80% of the time, boring my buyers to sleep. And I'd send long 300-word emails pitching products and features that were deleted straight away. This was because I had no consistency and no structure. I would wing it on every call and email. So I've created these 5 pillars of selling that have helped me close 7 figures and will be fundamental to all the other modules that we run through. Whether crafting a personalized email, delivering a great cold call, or even sending a personalized video to a buyer, you'll be able to apply these 5 pillars across channels. So here are the 5 pillars at a high level, and then later we're going to deep dive into all of them in more detail. Number 1 is observations, which is how to research your prospects and show you understand their world. 2 is material challenges, how to find pains that are measurable and resonate with buyers. 3 is spiritual challenges, how to find pain points that appeal to buyer emotions. And 4 is solutions through stories or content. How do you solve these customer challenges? And finally, number 5 is your call to action or CTA, which is how to establish next steps with your clients. So let's get into it. As discussed in the buyer psychology module, most salespeople are selfish, which is why they're not trusted. They're more interested in their commissions and their targets than the pains of their clients. The sleazy salesperson that we call Jordan Cardone is typical of this. So be different from everyone else and think about your buyer first and show you care with our first pillar of sales, which is the observation. The observation is what shows buyers you actually give a damn about them. You first need to research them. There's absolutely no excuse with this little thing called the internet. Google their name, look at their LinkedIn profile, or type into AI, tell me more about this person and their role at this company. It will give you lots of information that you can use. Now, some people are online ghosts and there's very little information about them. But even if this is the case, you can do research at a company level. Go on their company website, their company social media, Google the company, or again, use AI and say, hey, tell me more about what's happened at this company in the last 3 months. Now, you may be thinking, why bother doing this research? It will allow you to get 2 more minutes on a call for a buyer to hear you out, to get them to open your email or accept your LinkedIn request. So it's going to take you more time, but it's worth it. Remember, the amount of spam is increasing every year, and AI and technology is making this worse. Prove to your prospects that they aren't just a name on your list and that you're a real person. Now, let's imagine I'm targeting Richard Lane, who is the co-founder of Durham Lane. Most salespeople I coach when I start working with them think a good observation is, hey Richard, notice you're co-founder of Durham Lane. 1, this is lazy. 2, you're stating the obvious. They know their role and company. And 3, it's what the majority of salespeople do. So what will help you be a better salesperson is to be different from everyone else. Now, with Richard, I'm fortunate enough that he's got many different LinkedIn posts that I can refer to. I could say something generic in this case and say, hey, I see you post a lot on LinkedIn, Richard. But what's even better here is if I can refer to a specific post. Here I can see he posted about the season of spring. So I could say, Richard enjoyed the post about spring, inspiring us in dark times. As mentioned earlier, a lot of your leads won't be like Richard though, and they'll be ghosts online. So in that case, you need to have a company observation. In their company social media, I see that Durham Lane has written this blog, so I could use that in my outreach and say, hey Richard, saw your blog on making marketing a revenue center. Imagine marketing leaders are a key audience for you. Now, as mentioned earlier, as well as socials, I can use AI for research and write, tell me more about what's happened at Durham Lane recently. After putting this in, I can see I get a nice observation here. It tells me Richard has his own sales framework called Selling at a Higher Level, which is a 5-step sales system. Now, I want you to pause the video, pick a dream lead that you think would be a great customer, and find some observations that you can use to get their attention, either at a personal level or at a company level. Here's news. Buyers don't care about you, your features and functions, and they never will. In fact, they don't care about you or your company. They only care about themselves, their problems, their goals. But the more specific you can be about their problems, the better. Which is why our second pillar is the material challenge. If I'm selling to a VP of sales, I may say, sales is really hard this year, but that's very generic. It's like telling an electrician that they may need to be careful to prevent getting shocked. They're going to laugh at you, right? So instead, I can type into AI, tell me some stats about how sales has got harder. I then see this stat from Salesforce, which is based on a survey of 2,000 salespeople using their platform. And it says 57% of salespeople say the number of touches needed to close deals has increased over the past year. So going back to Richard, given that he's a sales-focused co-founder and manages a team of salespeople, this is a specific pain point that I can use with him backed up by data. Even if Richard doesn't relate to this problem of increasing touch points, at least he may learn something new about other salespeople, and I've potentially showed my expertise and gained a bit of credibility with him, even if he's not ready to take a meeting. In addition to online research, you can interview your current customers about their KPIs and ask them what their challenges are that you help them solve. Many sellers treat buyers like they're cogs in a wheel. They're corporate robots in suits that have no souls. But I've trained salespeople that sell to accountants, CFOs, heads of data science, and yes, I have news. All of them have souls, emotions, and a sense of humor. They also cried when Mufasa died in The Lion King. And that's why number 3 with our pillars is the spiritual challenge. Now, the word spiritual freaks some people out, as they may think of religious fanatics on one side or long-haired hippies on another. But essentially, we're talking about challenges that are not measurable, that affect the human spirit and our emotions. Earlier in the second pillar, we talked about the material challenge. We identified 57% of sellers say it takes more touches to reach buyers. Now we have something that's measurable. We need to think of something that's not measurable, that affects the emotions, human spirit, things that we can't see. Essentially, how do these problems make your buyers feel? Now, here's an example of how an increasing number of touches can make a sales team feel. It can be soul destroying for your sales team to contact a buyer 10 times with no response. Words like soul destroying are emotional words about your buyer's feelings. Yes, even people at corporations have feelings. Don't be scared of buyers' emotions. If the material is tugging at the purse strings, the spiritual is about tugging at the heartstrings. I love the Zig Ziglar quote, people buy based on emotion and justify based on logic. And that's 100% been my experience of selling millions of dollars worth of deals and coaching top salespeople. Now pause the video, think about for your dream lead, what challenges did they face and how do they make them feel? Write down those challenges and you'll have your spiritual challenges. Now, this is the end of this free video. If you'd like to have unlimited access to the full course and watch the rest of even this video with tips about how to be a great storyteller, then click the link below.